Hello everyone, welcome to Creating Grand, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition real play podcast set in the homebrew fantasy world of Solaris on the continent of Alteratus. At the table, we have the 3 players that will bring to life our adventurers. And to my left, we have... I threw a curveball.
Hey.
Pay attention.
I'm Jason, playing Gorath Thunderfist, Goliath fighter. Ready to get across this river at this point. Get back to the demon spies.
Alright. And I'm Brian. I play Kelbrix Goldfound, a human grave cleric. And he's kind of confused about what's going on with the gods right now.
And I'm Katie, playing Ari Arcalis, a tiefling rogue who is excited to loot this village.
And my name is Eric. I will be your dungeon master for this chapter of our tale. So, last we left off, you guys had just arrived at Riverine, or we're just outside of Riverine, which will be located right about here on our map. For those of you following us on YouTube, thank you very much. For those of you listening, continue to listen and support, and check us out on YouTube as well, and vice versa. For those of you watching, listen to us as well. You encountered someone you haven't seen in quite some time. A person in which Gorath had left a head on a pike for, I would assume. It was a lady or a young lady about the age of 18 named Jiella Craftsfellow. She was part of your Session 0 one-shot. She was traveling to the Soul Shepherd village or city of Dusk Hollow to enter the training of a Soul Shepherd. And she has made a miraculous or crazy return, however you want to look at it, just about 5 to 6 weeks after going to the school. I believe that's where we will start and pick everything up. I will make our map change. We are extremely zoomed in.
Nope.
That was extremely zoomed out.
And technical difficulties.
There we go.
And Ryan, you should turn that speaker off. Before we get all the crazy echoing, reverb, feedback things. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Alright.
That's going to be great in the YouTube video. Blooper reel. Anyway, so outside the city of Riverine, you guys have encountered Jiella. What would you guys like to do?
Why have you been searching for us?
Because the visions had told me to do so. That's what she says.
Visions?
Correct. From Morgana?
Okay.
She has behooved me to seek you out, is what she'll say. She said that there was a state of confusion in which you were under, is what she says, and that you needed this, as she points towards the newly acquired holy symbol of Morgana. As a matter of fact, now that you have it in possession and we are here, I'd like for you to give me an investigation on said holy symbol.
Okay. That's pretty good. 16 plus 0 for 16.
Okay, so the holy symbol is made of real bronze. Diamonds and rubies. I think I stated this in the podcast before, but we'll just go and roll with it and refresh everybody's brain. You see that there are 2 diamonds inside the eyes of the smaller skull on top of the larger skull. There was a third, but the third is missing. I would like for you now to do a insight check.
Okay.
Ari, what did you do with the diamond?
I didn't do anything! I've never seen that before!
Alright, so that's 18 plus 6 for a total of 24.
Excellent. Here's what you're able to discover. Mixed with your investigation, the value of the diamonds are 500 gold pieces per diamond. The clarity cut gives them extreme value and exquisiteness.
We didn't miss a sleight of hand roll by Ari behind our backs or anything? Okay. Just making sure.
You also,
Next to you.
after thoroughly examining, you also discover that there is something strange carved in the bottom of the symbol. Or the holy symbol. There are 3 symbols. With your insight, these 3 symbols are very similar, if not exact, symbols that were on the map in which you guys lost.
That's handy.
Okay.
Uh-huh. This particular symbol, holy symbol that is, it looks worn, it doesn't look brand new, and it looks like it's been used. That's what your insight and investigation have revealed to you up to this point.
And where did you get this holy symbol from?
I was led by Morgana, is what she says, so she's going to dismount off of her horse. Unless you guys are still mounted, I wasn't sure.
I think we're still mounted.
Okay,
We're still mounted.
then scratch that. She'll stay on top of her horse. I wasn't sure if you guys got there, dismounted. Okay, scratch that. I was led by a vision through Morgana to a specific location under a small tree. I was told that this symbol was once used during the Surge by one of her fellow or former champions. That's what she says. That's all I know about it. I was told to protect it with my life and to make sure that you got it.
Okay. Well, this is interesting.
I'm very new to this, is what she says. I didn't ask any questions. I just followed what the goddess wanted me to do.
Been there. Done that.
So I don't have too many other answers, is what she says.
Have you had any other visions?
No? Why do you ask, is what she says, looking at you.
Well, some people have been hallucinating, so.
I have not been hallucinating. Alright.
Are you sure?
I'm
Pretty sure.
pretty sure. I would say I'm like 85% sure
Okay.
that it wasn't a hallucination.
Okay.
Just because I saw the god of war come and talk to me, mention that there's a god looking after you,
Yes, Jiella looks extremely confused at this conversation.
and looking, well, and, you know, wanting to also recruit you, does not mean I have been hallucinating.
Hallucinations.
So,
Well, yes, go ahead, is what you say.
what are the other soul shepherds aware that you have left for this purpose?
Insight check.
8 plus 6 for 14.
Yes, they're aware that I'm on this quest, is what she says.
And I believe her.
You totally believe her.
Well, that's good.
I was sent here to work with you, through Morgana, is what she said. As a bit of a ward or a bit of a assistant or helper, is what she says.
Oh boy.
Just what we need.
Yes.
What does that mean?
A
She
tag
looks to
along.
you. I'm not a tag along. That's what she'll say.
Do you know how to fight?
Do you want to see? That's what she says.
Sure.
Roll initiative. She'll get off the horse.
20.
You are first. So you'll dismount. She dismounts. The two of you will square off.
I will pull my daggers.
She will draw her shield and her mace.
And I'm going to hold my action until she attacks me, because I want to see what she does.
Okay. She is going to cast Sacred Flame. So you will need to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh boy.
17.
You will avoid it, and it will... Like, you will hop off to the left, and your previous spot you were standing, the flame will rise. And then she will kind of put herself back up, and she will begin to start rotating clockwise and keeping her eyes focused on you. Gorath, can you make an insight check? Oh.
$17, 16, and 1.
It seems as if she has a little ability to fight.
I'm just gonna pull out my water skin and just drink.
Okay?
Just sit back and watch.
Alright.
That's fair enough.
Your move is what she'll say.
Alright.
Or she had a near-death experience. I don't know if you want to deal with this.
Fucking died. We're within, like,
I would say it's like an engagement, yeah. Easy.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll just try and stab her with a dagger.
Okay.
18 and 6 for 24.
Yeah, she only has not enough to deflect that. She attempts to do it with her shield, and you will slip past that defense.
Alright. 1, 3, 4.
Okay.
Damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use 2 weapon fighting. And attack her with my other dagger.
Yep.
16.
That one as well.
7.
She looks a little rough from that. I'm assuming is it like intent to kill, or are you kind of okay?
Looks like.
Yeah, she looks a little rough. Yeah. Yep. There's no blood drawn, but she looks a little rough.
You want to keep going?
She will look at you and smile, and she will attempt to keep going. She will move forward as she thrusts with her mace. That is only a 14.
That meets it.
Okay. She will deal 6 points of damage with the mace. And...
Or is that?
No, you held it last time. So it's
Okay.
when you took a turn, it was
Okay.
burnt.
I just wasn't not sure.
Yep.
You said 6 points, right?
It was 6 points of damage, of non-lethal, playful fighting damage.
Well, you guys didn't want to bet on me?
I was literally thinking that.
Like,
No
that's
coin,
fair.
exactly.
That is, I'm at 20, 14, and 6.
Definitely hit as she tries to use the shield once again. You're noticing the shield is a little too heavy for her. She hasn't got quick enough on the draw to deflect. Seems to be a little slow on the trigger.
And that's 7 points.
Oh, that puts her down to a knee. I
Alright,
yield is what
enough.
she'll say. I yield. She put her shields up to hold it.
Alright. Definitely need more training. But I'll admit you can fight.
But I mean, your approval is what she says sarcastically, and she'll stand up, kind of shouldering the shield and mace.
You don't have to.
I don't necessarily need it, is what she says, looking towards Kelbrix.
I'm aware.
This is going to get very complicated very quickly.
Hmm.
Sorry.
All right. Well, do you guys think we should bring Jiella up to speed on what's been going on?
I suppose.
Bring her up to speed.
So we'll kind of inform her of the Call of the Raven, what they're doing. Suspect they're the ones that destroyed this town, and they're heading into the Demon Spine Mountains to find something. We don't know entirely what it is. We believe that they're working on completing a ritual to become immortal, which is a huge issue.
Doesn't set well with our goddess, is what she'll say to you.
No, it does not. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay.
She's not going to die.
She literally has 3 left.
Huh?
She literally has 3 left.
Yeah, I probably would have
How does,
knocked her out.
how does the dice stand like that?
That's beautiful.
If only we could see it on camera.
It is.
Take
It
a
is-
photo. Take a photo, Brian.
Ha!
Oh, that's right. Katie, take a photo.
It's
It-
like this.
Yeah.
Against the side.
There you go.
Do you want me to take an action?
You can put it on Instagram for those of us who follow us on Instagram.
Alright. That'll be 5 points
Back.
back that she will get. One other thing I am going to do
Yep.
is now that I have a holy symbol,
You do.
I'm going to cast Sending.
Oh.
So I can speak a short message of 25 words or less to
Correct.
an individual, and I am going to send a message to Syndra.
Okay.
Uh,
What is said message?
said message is, it's Kelbrix. We're at Riverine. Things got complicated.
Okay.
Hopefully, we don't cause you any trouble.
Get close.
You can reply.
Okay. No reply.
I think Syndra's mad at us.
I was tempted to roll evens or odds. I was going to jump in on the conversation. So I'm going to say hi.
Just run over, start talking.
Uh,
She's still part of the team.
She's still part of the team. We get over here now.
okay, well,
So we're gonna sit outside this village that needs our attention? Is what Jiella will say to you, Kelbrix. Are we going to enter into this village? What's the plan?
well, yeah, let's head in. Let's see what's happened. If there's anyone we can help. And go from there.
Okay. So you find yourselves outside the village. And there's 5 or 6 of these buildings that are in complete wreckage, that are still smoldering and smoking from fires. Maybe intentionally set, maybe not, maybe just a kind of cause and effect from the buildings being attacked or damaged. There are 3 buildings still intact that are on the main street. You can look further north to see there is a building off to the northwest, and then the extreme north there is another building across the smaller portion of the river. Now, how the river is designed on the map before, I don't know if you guys remember, the main river kind of continues to flow, and then right here at Riverine, there is like a little bit of deviation that brings it closer to the hamlet of Riverine. So this portion is not as large or wide or deep as the main river, but this is kind of where you can catch your boats or your ferries. And the larger boats and things like that are on the wider portion of the river on the other side of this island, if you will.
Okay.
There are 2 long, about 5 or 6 feet wooden bridges that lead across this little portion, or the Little Cillian River as it's been named. You can see off to the northeast that there is a tent village that has been set up, and you can see that there are several people kind of moving around, 4 of which you're extremely familiar with. You encountered them several days back at the Lock and Key Inn. you will be able to spot Arden, the Bastion of Bashir, the cleric, which you had a brief encounter with, as well as the 3 other card-playing young cleric males.
Okay.
There is a church or chapel right here that is to the northeast of your location, just around the entrance of the village or before you get into the village. That has been untouched, seemingly. It has been around a while. You can tell by the age and date of the building. And the building structures, like I had stated before, they are kind of cobbled together, very Old West buildings, very plain. Some of them have some color to them, mostly like wood planks put them together and certain things like that. So they're not extremely fancy or what you would see in a typical village that you've been in so far. This is just kind of like a little squat town that's kind of popped up on the river and is continuing, or was continuing, to try to grow.
Gotcha. So let's head to the little tent area.
Okay.
All right.
Head up.
It's a fucking hell.
I don't have control.
I know you. I got her. She's
Yep.
up there. She'll follow kind of behind. Not trying to crowd your chemistry or your bond.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll hop off of Buttercup and say hi to Arden.
Okay. As you hop off Buttercup and the horses approach, Arden's attention will be drawn towards the noise of the horses approaching. He sees you. He will kind of approach and walk up to you to extend a hand, and he'll say, "Oh, welcome. You decided to come up to Riverine. We can always use the extra hand here. There are several villagers that need the aid," is what he'll say.
Yeah.
"What brings you here? Business, pleasure? I mean..."
Business for sure.
"Who is she?" is what he says as he looks towards Jiella, who is dismounting the horse. "Why have you brought her?"
Well, this is Jiella. She found us on our way into the town. We had an encounter with her once before, and saved her from the individuals we believe is causing this, or caused this issue here.
"And who do you think caused this issue here?" is what he says.
That would be the Call of the Raven.
"You can't be serious. There's no such thing," is what he'll say. "It's just a story being told amongst youth."
No story.
Alright. I'll believe it when I see it, my
I
friend.
was literally murdered. I got better.
Well,
But
I take back my words, is what he'll say.
by the call of the Raven, so do not tell us that they are just a story.
Alright. This makes sense, because a lot of these that have survived have made mention
References
or
to-
references to people that look like ravens. And a dwarf. A very angry dwarf, is what he'll say.
That.
Gorath. Let's find that dwarf.
So we're gonna find this dwarf and we're gonna kill this dwarf.
I mean, you're more than welcome to look around, is what he'll say. Most of the buildings have been damaged. We've went and combed through all the wreckage that we can and pulled any survivors. Those that have not survived are being prepared to be buried in the cemetery out back of the chapel or church, is what he says. There's no people dressed as ravens or dwarves that are very angry, is what he'll say. That's been found. You feel as if they came in, which they, according to the stories, they came in the middle of the night and began just attacking people and buildings. But according to the acting sheriff, which was deputy until of her immediate promotion, said that they seemed to be on a mission as if they were looking for something. The dwarf was carrying something that he was studying. That's all she knows. Jiella is going to move during this time kind of to your side. There's a little tension between Arden and Jiella.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terrible tension, but there's a little uncomfortableness between the two.
Yeah, they completely different beliefs, technically.
Correct.
Yeah. How many days?
Arden either.
What's that?
Arden hasn't seen Ari before either.
No, but he hasn't questioned anything
Okay.
yet. Yes.
Make sure.
Yeah, no.
How many days has it been since they were through here?
Well, you talked to him back at the end. He was proceeding there. It's been 20 to 25 days or so, maybe. Because, I mean, if you remember, it took you guys near 18 days to get here. You met him like a couple days before you sought out, one or two. And the rumors and everything were already, he was being sent there. So I would say anywhere between 20 and 25 days that happened, which would coincide, I mean, that's pretty close to when. Well, how long? I have to remember. How long was it when you guys encountered Dwarf? It was several weeks, right?
Well,
you guys had.
No, it's been for us. It's been about. Well, it was probably 10 days, I think.
Okay.
Not
It's
even.
however long.
Let's retcon this because so it would essentially time-wise worked out, just so I keep everything straight.
Probably around the time.
Around the time he would have acquired the map within a day.
Yeah.
So the timeline will work out, just to make sure everybody, listeners, viewers, are all clear and clean. You know, the timeline works out to where the dwarf would have kind of went directly from where you were,
Up to
your
here.
encounter, up to here. Now, he would have had to do it extremely fast, not by horseback, by other magical means possibly, or some other way, but it'll all jive out. So when he starts giving you the dates and times, it'll line up so that we're all on the same page.
So like a day after he attacked us.
Yes, correct.
Teleport.
You would assume, yes, somehow, some way, he was able to teleport or find a way to get up here relatively fast. So the buildings, like I said, the smoke they're still smoldering. Maybe from like fires that were, whatever. They're destroyed. They've been that way for a while. They're trying to give refuge and stuff to these survivors.
Well, is there anything that we can do to help any of these individuals?
There's a few people in the tents that could use some comforting as far as healing goes, if you want. I was on my way to meet with the acting mayor to discuss what the next steps would be to help them out. You're more than welcome to accompany me if you'd like. Jiella will kind of like look to you, and she kind of whispers at you and says, if it's okay with you, I'd like to go kind of help the wounded in the tents.
Yes, I think that would be best.
Okay, so she moves past, kind of lightly grazing Arden as he looks a little insulted and says, excuse you, like that, and she just continues to walk on. She's going to go towards this tent up here, where there is one of the other clerics that were playing cards the night that you guys encountered them. She will begin to doing that till you guys need her or something else comes up.
Or we leave her. No.
or you leave her, one of the two.
Right,
She would have tied off her horse at this nearby tree. Just so everyone knows.
Okay. I'd say, let's go and meet with the acting mayor, unless you guys have any thoughts.
Horse is good enough for me.
That's fine.
So Arden is going to lead you guys westward over to this building right here. This still intact, kind of purple roofed building, if you will.
Wow.
If you guys want to follow.
Yep. We can tie off our horses around the same tree.
So you guys tie off your horses. Arden will wait for you, and then you guys will all walk over. You'll be introduced to the acting mayor, former sheriff of the village. So she got a promotion as well. So the deputy promoted to the sheriff stepped up to the acting mayor, essentially. And you will see, she comes out, she's kind of a really tan, dark-haired, kind of almost black, but not quite like raven black. There's a bit of brown kind of mixed into it. Probably about shoulder length. Well built as far as like proportions. She introduces herself as, well, hello, I'm Gale. Gale Slatefall. I'm the mayor of here, Riverine. Arden, do you have fellow adventurers, helpers, something like that? Arden will look and he will say, yes, they just rode into town. And he kind of motions his hand so that you guys can do introductions or not.
I'm Kelbrix.
Kelbrix, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hello, hello. That's what she says.
I guess.
Now wave. I'm Gorath.
Hello, Gorath. You're from around here, aren't you? I think I've seen you travel through here a time or two.
We're across the river.
You're in the mountains, one of those mountain folks.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
nice to meet you, Gorath. So, Arden will say, yes, we come to believe, due to the words of the adventuring party here, Kelbrix, Gorath, and hello. It's what he says looking weird at you, but whatever. That these delusions that we originally had thought, as he kind of humbles himself a little bit after he kind of said, they're just delusions and stories, are in fact real. Well, like I told you, I know what I saw, and I saw Raven folk. I'm glad that the three of you are here to back me up on my story, is what you're saying.
Yes. With that being said, Arden said that for some of the accounts, there was a dwarven fellow and he seemed to be looking for things.
He was on a tirade trying to look for things, but he was not alone. There was a really well-dressed raven figure with one wing protruding from her robe in the back.
Interesting.
Yes.
That is an individual we have yet to encounter.
The stature appeared to be female in form. I don't want to be judgy, but the build was that of a woman or a female, is what you'll say. I could not get a good look. The mask on the face was very intimidating and exotic, is what she says. The dwarf seemed to be working with her specifically. There was another person with her as well, right next to her. I'm pretty sure it was one of your kind, is what she says, looking directly at you, Ari.
My kind.
You know, with the horns and you have to forgive me. I've spent my life here.
Tiefling?
Okay, a tiefling, yes, if that's what race you are, is what she'll say.
Yes.
He was very close to her, and his skin was fiery red, is what she'll say.
I'm gonna look directly at Gorath. That's interesting.
Is there something I should be made aware of?
We may have seen him before.
The tiefling?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's any questions, if you have any more questions, by all means, you can ask. I've got some things to attend to try to figure out what the next steps are. Lachardon says, well, that's what we're here to do, is see what further we can do to help. She says, well, comforting and healing those is perfectly fine for now, but I still need to know what we can do next.
Well, that's kind of what we're here for, is to hunt after these individuals.
Arden looks a little taken back when he's like, oh, really? And now he's listening to you.
With that being said, where was the last place or last house that they were in before they went and left here?
They made their way towards the graveyard, right out back the church, is what you say. The dwarf, the tiefling, and the one-winged female, is what she says.
To the graveyard itself or inside the church?
No, to the graveyard specifically.
Fuck.
After that, I don't know what happened. I passed out from... She points towards one of the buildings. I'll say this building right here, as that was once kind of the jail or where the sheriff would reside.
Understood. I think we need to check out that graveyard.
Yeah.
I agree.
If there's anything else that we can do, please let us know.
I'll be sure to do so, and I'll pass along word to Arden. If you guys are working with him or not, I don't know. We're not working directly with one another, but we want what's best for you, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that this village gets back on its feet. I'll go over and attend to the wounded and sick and injured, is what I'll say. We'll part his way, kind of nodding to each one of you, acknowledging you, and he goes over to where he was at his post. Now, if you excuse me, I have some things to discuss with some of the surviving members here.
Of course.
She will also make her way, probably not long after Arden, but she goes over in that direction, leaving the three of you standing in the street trying to figure out what the fuck.
Gonna go check out a graveyard.
Look at that graveyard.
Yeah. So we'll head over to the graveyard.
Okay.
See what's what.
You move on to the graveyard. You'll take the kind of rough cobbled path. It's basically a dirt path that has like stepping stones kind of thrown down to get into the graveyard.
Guessing the graveyard's probably back here, or is that?
Oh, that's the graveyard over
the
there.
graveyard?
Yep. It is kind of encircled by trees to kind of give it a sense of privacy, if you will.
Do we know what type of house of worship that was?
That was an All Faiths temple. It was an open church or open temple to worship any faith. And how that'll work essentially is they would have like rotating priests that come in and spend a certain amount of time from each faith. So they might do a 6-month stint there, and then they'll rotate out with another priest or whatever like that. It's like continually revolving of different priests for different worshipers or faiths. You can see that this is equivalent to like a pioneer's graveyard. Very old stones. Some of them are cracked, broken. Some of them have fresh flowers on the graves where they've been visited. Some of them are, still upright and still can be read. In the center, or the focal point of the graveyard, is a large, very kind of plain mausoleum. It is about 15 to 20 feet square all the way around. There's a large kind of stone archway that's seemingly a little gaudy or out of place that kind of marks the front.
Okay.
The point of the arch, or the keystone of the archway, is probably about 2-3 feet above the roof of the mausoleum.
So what was this about the tiefling that you guys have seen?
Yeah, you haven't seen him yet. red skin tiefling that keeps showing up? Like, everywhere?
I haven't noticed him.
Remember I told you a long time ago not to worry about it?
We probably should have worried about it.
Now it's time to worry about it.
That's this guy.
It's now time to worry about it.
Are you referring to after we first met with Sendra?
Yes. He kind of gave me a weird vibe back then, and I didn't think anything too badly of it. But now this is the
And then
third
we
or
saw
fourth
him
time.
in the lock and key.
And there's other places you've seen him too. There's like I think one other place you guys have seen him way back
In
in
the
the
very
beginning.
first episode.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
In the very first
Green
tavern.
Coast Landing Tavern. Yeah, Sailors.
Sailor's Delight.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where you first spotted him in the crowded Sailor's Delight. And he's been popping up randomly.
Did we know he was wanted?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I could remember if they had heard the Baron yelling for him.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, that's fun. Okay. We need to keep an eye out. Definitely. How are they getting around so quick? If he was here the day after we were attacked, along with the door, and then was already in the lock and key end, they've got something very powerful to do. That could be an issue.
I didn't hear them leave the lock and key.
What do you mean?
They were in the room next to us. I never heard them leave.
Correct.
But then, when I was getting ready to leave, neither of us heard them moving around on the roof.
Oh,
Assuming they were
that's
gone.
that's who you were trying to listen for.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
It's all coming together.
that's okay. Yeah, let's take a look through some of these graves. See if there's any graves that have been
Like
dug up.
moving and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. You
And-
guys can
and
make
then we'll-
perception checks if you'd like. Take yourself a good 15-20 minute walk around to examine the graves.
15, 9, and 6.
That's good.
13, 7, and 6.
Yeah, 5. 4 and 1.
Gorath, you are
It's a lot of
probably
dead,
scratching your head at the red-skinned tiefling.
it's a lot of dead people here.
I would say Kelbrix are your numbers 13. 15 are definitely good enough to realize these graves have been undisturbed. Nothing has been dug up. The only thing you begin to pick up on is that the mausoleum has signs of trying to be forced open. There is a singular slab of granite that is just smooth. That would be the doorway at the top of the steps, the stone steps that go up there.
Gorath, I need your strength.
What am I doing?
Let's break into this mausoleum.
Wait, what?
Come on, let's go.
We're gonna look at Kelvin. Like, wait, what? What?
That's not wise.
It looks like it's been tampered with.
And when she points it out, you can see that there appear to be some sort of scoring or marks that are on the door, as if someone tried to cut, carve, or break into. But the granite stands pretty strong.
We need
Just
to know
for-
why he was looking around, right?
We do.
Is there anything written on the door?
No, it's smooth.
Is there
Okay.
any,
There's
like,
no identifying
Indication of-
markers anywhere
Okay.
on the stonework. It's just like blank. No name, no nothing.
Stop.
I mean, is there any, like, seam or anything that looks like I can, like, move it? Or, like, I mean, or is it just a...
Go, you know what? Go ahead and give me an investigation. So Gorath walks up. Now, you're going to walk about 5 feet up some stone kind of steps till you get to the door. So you'll go under the arch a couple feet. And
I rolled a 6.
Well, the only thing that really stands out that's fairly obvious is there are two small holes, probably about a ½ inch to maybe 3/8 of an inch apart from each other, and they're stacked on top of each other. It's roughly about the spot where you would have a door handle. That is it. They're holes, they go back in there. You can't see anything past that point.
Can I try and see if it looks like a locking mechanism?
You can do an investigation for that if you'd like to see if it's some sort of locking mechanism.
15, 11, and 4.
It literally looks like two holes. There's no like, where you might see some way to like turn or unlock or pick it. It's very strange. The holes are dark. Don't appear to be anything inside the holes. They're very smooth.
About how far apart?
½ inch to 3/8 of an inch ish, somewhere around
From
there.
each other?
Yep, and they're stacked directly on top of each other, like perfectly.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
I had a thought of using the horns,
Oh no, not that.
but
What about the tuning fork?
Do you have an inspiration point?
I don't think I do.
If you don't, you earn one. You pull the tuning fork out,
Nice.
adjust it, you take a look at it, and it's roughly ½ inch to 3/8 of an inch spacing with two round holes. What do you want to do with it?
I'm sitting here just stretching and getting ready to
Cracking his knuckles,
zimber up.
the Warhammer, ready.
I'm going to shove the tuning fork in the holes.
Okay, you will do so. They fit perfectly, and they stop just at what would, just at the appropriate depth.
Does anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Can I ding it?
Would you like to?
Yes.
Yes. So what are you going to use to ding the tuning fork with?
I'll pull a dagger out.
Yep.
I go ding.
Okay, and as you do insert it, where is everybody positioned at? I know Gorath and Ari are right at the
Oh,
door, maybe?
Gorath's brother.
Yeah, I'm like right behind, getting ready, like punch straight up.
probably there.
Okay, so Kelbrix, you notice as the sound of the tuning fork triggers, you're going to notice a glowing symbol at the keystone. The symbol looks like this. That is the symbol of the Arcanist. That is glowing. As you insert it, being the tuning fork that is still vibrating, you will see a gentle green glow emanating from the holes. You will feel as if the tuning fork can now turn like a door handle. And you will do what?
I'll turn it.
And you turn it, it will twist, unlocking the door, and you will now be able to open said door, revealing that, but for a better look, I will move you over to the mausoleum map as soon as I get your tokens kind of positioned.
So many map changes.
I'm sorry, but not.
Because it was afraid.
No.
Centered up there. You see one singular kind of raised sarcophagus that is in the center of this 15-foot by 15-foot mausoleum. On the back or northern wall of the mausoleum, you see this kind of two-tiered or step-up exotic stone kind of mural that's been carved, and there are two large stone pillars that kind of are on either side of this mural. That is it. There is a little dust that disturbs, but this has not been opened since it was closed, based off the way all the signs that are showing.
I'm gonna keep an eye out and look around.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check.
I would also like to look around.
Go ahead.
And I'm focusing not inside the mausoleum. It's 15 total. 9 plus 6.
The only people you see are the people that are currently there. You can see off in the distance the tent town and stuff like that, but there's no one within 200-300 feet or more of where you are. Easy.
I was looking around the mausoleum, but I got a 9 for answers.
That's not terrible. Go ahead and put yourself wherever you would like to be in the mausoleum.
I'll just go door back here.
Okay. The only thing you definitely notice will be a symbol carved into or worked into the motif of the sarcophagus of the Arcanist. Right here. The mural depicts some sort of epic battle. It's been carved and chiseled in through this marble or granite. You're not exactly sure. It shows dragons and a creature that you've never seen that is much larger and devastating looking than a dragon. You see a mixture of elves and dwarves and tieflings and humans, along with other races that you're not exactly familiar with as of yet or have not seen. But they all seem to be working together, battling this horrific collection of monsters or whatever it is. And it seems to be taking place over this beautifully designed city. Now, the 2 pillars with a 9 are floor to ceiling, so they go about 8.5, 9 feet from the floor to ceiling. They have little, I don't know how to describe them in my brain. That came up. They're like a little carved trays, if you will, that kind of protrude out, and they look like you can either put plants inside of them or other things, but they're currently empty.
I'm gonna walk up to the sarcophagus.
Okay. So the 2 of you will see Ari kind of take a pause, look around, and now she enters into the mausoleum.
I want to see if there's any names or anything on it.
It is unmarked. The only thing you see is a symbol of an Arcanist.
And it doesn't look like it.
No, this has been undisturbed. The door has not been opened, obviously, from the markings you saw. They tried, whomever it may be, and unsuccessful.
So am I opening this?
Is what echoes out to you. Indiana Jones wants to rob the grave.
I'm just looking at Kelbrix like, what is she up to now?
I think she wants to open the sarcophagus. I say no. But choice is yours. And I'm gonna stay out here. I'm gonna keep an eye.
How did you open this door?
With the tuning fork?
Maybe you should give it to me just in case the door shuts on you when you're sealed in there.
It's probably still in the door.
It is still in the door.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there another place for the tuning fork on the sarcophagus?
You can make an investigation and attempt to see.
14. 10, 4.
Oh, sarcophagus does not demonstrate any signs of tuning fork insertion. It's pretty smooth. Some gold inlay, a few jewels.
I would like to go over to the pillars.
Yep.
And see if the trays have, like, I don't know, a weight mechanism type thing.
Okay, make an investigation.
10. 6.
You test all the little trays. You do not sense or find any kind of like pressure mechanisms or anything like that that would do anything tricky trap-wise. The only thing the 10 will also get you is you smell oil from the trays.
Is it just like coating or like is it?
It's dry. There's a residue. You
Okay.
stick your fingers in, you can feel the oily kind of viscous feel in all the trays. And it smells like lantern oil or burning oil. digging through those useless items to see if you have something useful.
I
Yeah.
do have a lantern.
There you go. And it should come with oil.
It does.
Uh-huh.
Good thing I spent that
Yeah.
Yeah.
gold for that pouch. That backpack of yours.
Good job,
Yeah,
Kelbrix.
thanks. I get the full lantern out, place it on one of the trays, light it up, see if anything happens.
Okay, so you pour the oil in and light it, and nothing happens. It ignites and burns like a little bit of flame. And then you stand there for a few more moments, and then the oil kind of works its way to another one. Like, let's say on the same level, and then the other one will... As the oil slowly kind of travels in a circle, 4 of them will ignite on, let's say, like, the top level. And there's like a top, medium, and low level to be lit on each pillar.
I'm going to light them all up.
So you will have enough oil to do so. You pour just enough in and begin igniting them. This takes about 15 minutes because of the way the oil kind of will slowly move around in there. And what do the other 2 of you wish to do?
I'm keeping an eye out. I have a very good feeling that we are being observed.
Okay, so you're continuing to stay. Go ahead and give me another perception check, man. Gorath, what do you want to do?
13 for that one.
Okay. Still, you don't notice anything strange or different at all.
Just sit there, like, peeking my head in. Sitting in the doorway.
You watch her as she slowly will fill up these trays, and you watch as they kind of ignite very slowly. She'll have one pillar completely lit and illuminated by the time you enter into there, Gorath. And she's starting to work on the second one, so if you want to move over to the next one, just for visuals for those watching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can make a perception check as she's doing this, Gorath, since you were checking on things.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Trying to figure something out.
That's a 17, 16.
That's good. You begin to notice that on the mural on the back of the wall, that the flame or the oil begins to kind of spread, illuminating the mural more. And it seems to start heading towards this one particularly large creature that you've never seen before. You're more than welcome to make a nature check to try to identify it.
18, 15, and 3.
Okay, this is something you probably would have been told or shown, like a carving or a drawn photo of a mythological creature that's only been seen one time. And it would have been maybe during something like the Surge, from like your grandfather, your great-grandfather. This is known as a Tarrasque. And the dragons you see that are also carved in there are full adult, but they look a little bit smaller than that. The Tarrasque seems to be very overwhelming compared to their size. Now, as she finishes up the second pillar, you will then begin to notice as she kind of backs away, dusting off her hands, the same kind of small glowing oil light from flame working its way on the left side as they're starting to kind of maneuver, and they will coalesce and meet right at the Tarrasque. And you notice something clutched in the taloned hand of the Tarrasque that looks out of place with your previous perception.
Here. It's this right here. Right?
Yes, correct.
Alright. Well, I can't plant my
You
stuff, but I'm gonna get my stuff.
you can go up there. Just put it
Okay.
right on there. There you go.
Alright. I'm gonna like just start looking at it like real close. Like
Yep.
it's got my curiosity.
Yep. So what you see is this unique looking, it's 3-dimensionally carved. This hand of this Tarrasque or creature has clutched in its grip something that looks out of place. It looks as if it's been placed. It looks like a stone, almost square. It has some sort of unique carving into the stone, like a symbol of some sort. It looks slightly familiar, but you've seen a ton of carvings and rock things in your life coming from the mountains.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Find something?
Look at this. I'll start pointing it out to you on the terrace.
Okay, your passive perception is quickly
21.
drawn with a 21, and you see that this creature that you're not sure what it is holding something that looks like it's been put into place or kind of blended or hidden amongst the mural. You can walk up to it. It looks about like this, clutched in its hand.
Can you take it out?
Yeah, I'm contemplating grabbing it too.
We should probably show Kelbrix, and I don't think he's gonna come in here.
You can hear this, Kelbrix. It's all like echoey from behind you as you're looking around.
All right, I will walk in.
Okay. We'll see them examining this as Gorath is on the verge of doing...
About ready to grab it.
Yeah.
You can see my hands beginning to twitch.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna go for it.
All right, so you take it. It comes freely. There's no resistance. It's easy enough, no roll. So you will have in possession this right here. It is made of a unique kind of stone that you've never seen before. It's inlaid with platinum.
I'm gonna hold it out in front of everybody.
Okay. So you begin to look at it. When you remove it, the oil and the fire will snuff out within a moment or two afterwards. And you'll smell just the remnants of smoke and oil kind of in the air.
Does Ari recognize the symbol?
You can certainly attempt to make an investigation, or a history, actually, not an investigation. And I'll give you advantage. And that's going to pick up great.
So sorry, that was a 22.
So,
Yeah.
11. 10 and 1.
yeah, it looks familiar. It looks like one of the symbols on the map. As a matter of fact, the 11's pretty good. You literally tried to duplicate the map. You think it's the symbol that was located on the first village you would have encountered on the map that the dwarf had taken from you.
Hey, Kelbrix. Your holy symbol had stuff on it, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So, flip over the holy symbol.
And you will
Look,
easily be able to match them.
it's the first one.
Yeah. Huh. That's, that could be
See, we
problematic.
were supposed to come in here.
Gorath, your ears will twitch like a dog. Come out, wherever you are. That's what you'll hear echo in as you
I
hear
was just
the,
about to say, it's...
Yeah.
As soon as we leave
the
here.
dwarven fighter who you encountered and nearly decimated and TPK'd, or total party killed you guys. Echoing into the mausoleum.
Kill this fucking dwarf.
You will move towards the door, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
You will see him as he's right in the center of the path. I want to reposition a few tokens. Thank you very much.
But I am handing this off before I go out. Just putting it out.
I'm going to secret it away on my person, not in my bag.
Okay. Give me a... So let's make this a sleight of hand for hiding it. You have the gloves of thievery, don't forget. Should be all counted for.
14 and 11 for 25.
That's good. Remember that number. That's the number one needs to do to find it on your persons.
Okay.
So, Gorath, when you get to the door, you notice that there are 3 other individuals. There is 2 of them off to what would be your right, if you were facing the right direction, and 1 off to your left. 2 of these individuals look to be like raven folk you've encountered before. You believe them to probably be feathers of the raven or the lower tier of the raven, and one of them looks like this, which is pretty interesting. The mask has a purplish glowing eye. There's tufts of white hair falling out. Beautifully designed raven mask as they are standing there, and I think this is an excellent time to stop this chapter of our tale.